All right, welcome back to another Giorgio Says video. I'm your host, Giorgio, and before we get into today's topic, I want to remind you to please kindly hit subscribe, hit like, and that notification bell because I will be posting every single day and I will be bringing you updates as I get them. So if you do that, then you'll know when I'm posting and you won't miss anything. Now, if you're not following me on TikTok, you already know that I bring constant updates and tea there at Giorgio Says. So if you're not following me there, go check me out. But let's get into today's topic. All right. So it seems like word on the street is that the orange is kind of being competed over between Taylor and Gina. And I know a lot of people don't really care for either one. I think when I first broke the news on TikTok that Taylor had officially, joined Real Housewives of Orange County. Now she had joined as a friend of, but typically that is kind of a way to get people started. And sometimes they may start off as a friend of, but then they end up becoming full-time based on how they bring it during that season. So there's been some talks that there is some competition between Gina and Taylor Armstrong on who's going to get this orange. And I don't want to sound like I have my favorites, but I do really enjoy me some Taylor Armstrong. I was really happy when she was on Ultimate Girls Trip. I know a lot of people didn't care for her, didn't understand why Bravo would bring her back. But they brought Tamara back, which I think was an excellent choice. I think it was time for someone like Tamara to come back to the show after last season. It was clear that was not a good season. I'm pretty sure they spent more money on filming and casting than they did with anything else. So I really hope that whatever the storylines are, which seems to be revolving around Shannon and her friendship with Tamara and Heather, because as we know, she didn't really end on a good note with Tamara. She got closer to Heather, closer to last season, whatever you want to call that. I think that was more of Shannon protecting herself and her family from Heather's wrath, which we all know that that's a real thing and that she does have pull behind the scenes. So I'm not knocking Shannon for being a little friendlier to Heather, but it will be interesting having Tamara back on because, Tamara's going to hold Shannon to the fire and she's going to try to hold her accountable. So it should be very interesting to see those dynamics play out. However, I do think it's also interesting that we have Taylor in the mix and what Taylor's opinions on things will be, because if Taylor's bringing it and Gina's not, and let's be honest, I like Gina, I do, but I don't think Gina's got enough material to bring enough to the table to be full-time, at least based on the last couple seasons. I think Gina is kind of riding off Emily's coattails and vice versa. I think there's no independence between Gina and Emily. And I think Gina needs to kind of separate herself. So maybe, from what I'm also hearing, Gina's bringing the drama, but you never know. It all depends on the edits. It all depends on what the storylines are. But it's really interesting because, there was talks that Gina was going to be demoted. It's clear that she doesn't have her orange yet, but that's not to say that Taylor won't come in and swoop that orange from her. And I've heard what you guys have to say on TikTok and Instagram. You guys don't want either one to be a full-time, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Taylor has this one in the bag. I really do. I think she gets the assignment. She understands it. She took time away, a good amount of time away from being on, these shows. So she's been able to reflect. She's in a better place now. Her head's in the game. I really think that Taylor's going to take the orange. I really do. Now, strike me down if I'm wrong, because there's going to be a lot of work for Gina to be able to get that orange back in her hand. So unless she's doing some real confrontational stuff, or she's being messy, or she's really, calling these ladies to the carpet for different things, I don't know. Gina can surprise us at times. There's certain elements of Gina, I think she does have it in her to be a full-time housewife, and others, I just feel like she's not really there. I think she's she overthinks things too much, and I think she's too emotional about it. And I think the rest of the women understand that this is a strategy game, and maybe Taylor getting on the show maybe put a fire under Gina's ass or whatever. But it doesn't seem like it based on the way that, like, just recently Gina reacted to the Kelly Dodd comments that she had on they aren't new. She's been talking about Gina, but she references them again when she did her interview with Adam. And obviously news reports picked up on it, and so she kind of did a TikTok where she was like duetting it, or kind of basically calling Kelly out. And I stitched it because I felt like, why are you giving Kelly this much energy? You should be focusing on the show. Focus on making yourself look great on the show, making your family look strong and united, and making your business look successful. And I'm not sure if it's coincidence, but she has since taken that TikTok down. It was the only TikTok she had done. So if you go to my TikTok, you will see that if you click on the video that I stitched, it's no longer there. So I'm not sure if Gina took my advice. It's fine. I won't charge you this time, Gina, but next time we'll talk. No, but in all honesty, I really do think that Gina has some learning curves here with this show and trying to figure out where her place is. But I do think she needs to separate herself from Emily. So I don't know what you guys think. I want you to let me know down below, though. Do you think Taylor Armstrong should get that orange, or do you think Gina should get it? And if so, let me know why. And if you don't want Taylor to get it, tell me why. If you don't want Gina to get it, tell me why. I really do want to know, because I like knowing what you guys think about these things. This is part of the whole conversation I have on TikTok all the time, is I like getting to know everyone's opinion on something, because we all have different opinions and different views on these things. But before I go, I do want to quickly remind you again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so now, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.